For months, the world's most powerful intelligence agencies have been on edge, watching, waiting, and fearing the unknown. Satellite images, continuous radar pings, and intercepted communications are all pointing directly toward one chilling, inescapable conclusion. The Russian Federation has activated a powerful new weapon system that it previously swore did not even exist.
This is a weapon platform so advanced, so potentially devastating, that its activation has triggered profound alarm.
NATO has consequently shifted to its highest readiness level, a posture not seen since the Cold War ended.
Intelligence agencies have assigned this mysterious and terrifying new weapons program a singular, mythic codename: the Perun System. It is a hybrid platform, rumored to combine hypersonic technology with advanced directed energy warfare components. It also integrates deep-sea nuclear deterrence, linking everything together into one highly dangerous, seamless, intelligent network.
Until only very recently, the existence of such a sophisticated system was dismissed by analysts as pure science fiction.
But today, pieces of that very same fiction are rapidly becoming a new and absolutely terrifying modern reality.
The first concrete evidence of the system's activation began on a foggy morning, high above the Barents Sea.
A Norwegian surveillance radar station detected what appeared to be a cluster of hypersonic projectiles moving at impossible speeds.
They were clocked over Mach 8, heading due west, before they suddenly vanished from the radar screens entirely.
Only seconds later, NATO command centers located in Brussels and Stuttgart went into an immediate, silent lockdown.
An emergency communication was immediately broadcast.
Possible Perun activation.
All observations.
What followed this high alert declaration was not battle, but instead a profound and confusing wave of silence. Analysis quickly confirmed that the mysterious hypersonic projectiles had not actually struck any physical targets whatsoever.
Furthermore, sensor data showed they had not detonated, and there were no explosions detected in the air or sea.
The projectiles simply disappeared from all tracking systems, almost as if they were swallowed by the air itself. For Western military analysts, this unprecedented event raised one immediate, haunting, and fundamentally terrifying question.
What weapon moves faster than anything known, vanishes mid-flight, and leaves absolutely no signature behind it?
Within 24 hours, U.S. reconnaissance satellites were urgently shifted in orbit to focus on the Arctic region. The imagery they captured and transmitted back to Earth sent immediate shockwaves through global intelligence circles. Hidden beneath the thick ice near the Novaya Zemlya archipelago, they discovered a massive, new underground facility. This sprawling, hidden complex measured an astonishing 12 kilometers wide, dwarfing all assumptions of its scale.
Its energy signature and power output were calculated to exceed that of several small, modern industrial cities. Curiously, the massive base had no visible airstrips, no missile launch pads, and no conventional aircraft runways.
It possessed just one single, massive aperture, a strange, metallic ring structure embedded deep into the rock. This ring structure was observed glowing faintly, pulsing with mysterious and unsettling blue-colored energy emissions. Engineers and physicists studying the satellite data quickly realized exactly what this revolutionary device could be: an accelerator, a magneto-hydrodynamic accelerator, theoretically capable of launching projectiles or drones at truly incredible hypersonic speeds.
It would use contained plasma energy for the launch, instead of any known traditional chemical propulsion methods.
If this analysis was true, it meant Russia had leaped decades ahead in advanced weapons delivery systems.
For the NATO alliance, this shocking discovery was not just alarming. It was viewed as an existential threat.
Because the Perun system, according to newly intercepted Russian documents, was not just a single, isolated weapon.
It was designed as an integrated ecosystem, a technological triad combining three distinct, first, hypersonic glide vehicles, or HGVs, launched from the massive plasma accelerators we saw in the Arctic.
Second, new submarine-based energy reactors, feeding the entire system through heavily shielded deep-sea power cables.
And third, advanced orbital relays, providing real-time targeting data by using swarms of low-Earth satellites.
Together, these three components could theoretically strike any target on Earth within a matter of mere minutes. This speed and technology would allow the Perun System to evade every known missile defense network currently deployed.
The weapon's symbolic name, Perun, is taken directly from ancient Slavic mythology, the highest god of thunder and war.
And just like the legend, the system's sudden arrival on the world stage shook the heavens themselves.
Inside NATO headquarters, confidential debates quickly turned from concern to barely concealed panic among military leaders.
Analysts compared the Perun activation to the dawn of the atomic age, a terrifying paradigm shift.
Within days, the United States repositioned several B-2 Spirit bombers to forward bases in the UK and Iceland.
France immediately raised its national nuclear alert level to a DEFCON 3 equivalent, a very serious move.
And Britain's Royal Navy deployed additional hunter-killer submarines into the dark, cold waters of the North Atlantic.
Publicly, no Western official would admit that anything significant had changed in the global strategic balance.
But behind the closed doors of power, the atmosphere was electric, with a palpable, unspoken, collective dread.
Meanwhile, in Moscow, the Kremlin leadership and the Ministry of Defense remained officially and strategically silent.
But something strange began happening in the Russian state media, a shift in tone and messaging.
News anchors began referencing phrases like strategic balance restored and unseen guardians of the nation's peace.
A cryptic video then appeared briefly on Russian military channels, showing a bright flash streaking through the clouds. This footage was followed by a simple, chilling, and direct two-word caption: Perun awakens.
The video vanished from public servers hours later, but not before it was archived by Western intelligence.
Then, shortly after the video appeared, the strange and unexplained physical incidents began to occur in succession.
In early October, 3 NATO reconnaissance drones vanished without a trace while flying near the Arctic Circle.
Their last mount transmissions showed massive electromagnetic interference, and then a sudden, catastrophic, total power failure.
The video vanished from all public servers just hours later, but not before it was archived by Western intelligence. Then, the strange and unexplainable incidents began to escalate, starting in early October near the Arctic Circle. 3 separate NATO reconnaissance drones vanished in mid-flight while flying near the Arctic Circle on routine missions.
Their last transmissions showed massive electromagnetic interference, followed by a sudden, total, catastrophic power failure.
Days later, 2 U.S. Navy destroyers reported being blinded by an unknown energy field while patrolling.
For 17 minutes, their radar, communications, and even backup navigation systems were rendered completely dead.
Then, as quickly and mysteriously as it arrived, the profound electronic blinding effect completely disappeared.
NATO's official internal report simply labeled the incident as a directed energy field event, for the record.
Unofficially, it was considered by all involved to be the first direct, non-lethal use of the Perun system.
Experts now believe the Perun weapon isn't just about offensive kinetic strikes, but strategic denial.
It appears capable of shutting down electronics and radar networks across entire regions without firing a single shot.
They have created a ghost weapon that can paralyze an enemy before they even know they're under attack.
If this capability sounds familiar, that is because the concept has deep roots in old Soviet research.
It originates from a secret project in the 1980s, which was ominously codenamed the Elbrus Ray. That system was too unstable, but Perun appears to be its evolved form, powered by modern AI.
In response, the U.S. military accelerated work on its own countermeasures, activating the Nemesis Net project,
These classified satellites are equipped with laser-based sensors designed to detect and disrupt plasma wave signatures.
Simultaneously, the U.S. Navy began testing new electromagnetic shields aboard the advanced USS Zumwalt destroyer class.
But even with these countermeasures, experts warn that the NATO alliance may still be trailing far behind.
Because the Perun system isn't just fast, it is dangerously, fundamentally, and terrifyingly unpredictable in its operation. It doesn't behave like a missile, a drone, or an aircraft. It behaves like a controlled storm.
Reports suggest Perun's first full-field test took place near the vast Arctic methane fields last month.
The system's activation caused a massive ripple effect, a shockwave detected as far south as Helsinki, Finland.
For several minutes, civilian aircraft briefly lost all GPS signals, causing widespread confusion in the air. Auroras flared unnaturally across the polar skies, and scientific magnetic readings spiked completely off the charts.
It was a terrifying display, as if the atmosphere itself was being rewritten by an unknown force.
Scientists studying the data describe this event as a localized electromagnetic inversion, a previously theoretical event.
In simpler terms, this means they have created the equivalent of localized space weather, on command.
That level of control over electromagnetic energy could mean the system is capable of disrupting satellites. It may even be a weather manipulation system, altering conditions over specific, targeted enemy zones. For decades, such claims were dismissed as conspiracy, but documents from Russian defense contractor Rostec align. They show references to ionospheric modulation experiments tied to a strategic energy field project from 2016. One terrifying line from a leaked document reads, "Energy dominance requires complete atmospheric synchronization. The new battlefield is no longer land, sea, or air. The new battlefield is reality itself."
That single philosophical line of text absolutely terrified Western military analysts who read it in the briefing.
Within days, the Pentagon issued an emergency memorandum to all branches, labeled Directive Polaris. It ordered immediate research into counter-ionospheric technologies and resilient, hardened satellite networks for defense. Meanwhile, the CIA began monitoring all Russian ports, shipyards, and energy plants for any unusual activity.
They found massive amounts of high-density capacitors, superconducting coils, and powerful laser components being shipped north.
All of the advanced components were heading straight to the Arctic, directly to the new Perun facility.
Over the Baltic Sea, commercial pilots reported seeing strange blue orbs of light moving in perfect formation.
Over Alaska, NORAD radar operators caught phantom echoes of advanced aircraft that simply were not there. And in space, multiple Western satellites went offline simultaneously, as if someone had flipped a cosmic switch.
NASA's official public statement quickly blamed the widespread outages on a recent, unexpected series of solar storms.
But defense insiders knew better. Astronomical data confirmed there were no significant solar flares that night.
By mid-November, NATO's patience ran out. A massive joint exercise, Operation Polar Shield, was launched near Scandinavia.
Officially, the exercise was described as routine, cold weather training, a standard operation for the alliance.
Unofficially, it was a massive show of force aimed directly at Moscow. A clear message.
The U.S. Air Force deployed B-52 bombers, while Britain sent its newest F-35 Lightning IIs.
But just hours into the massive exercise,
Ships lost their primary radar contact, and planes began experiencing significant, dangerous GPS navigation drift.
A strange, luminous haze appeared in the northern sky, pulsating like an aurora, but moving against the wind. The multinational exercise was halted immediately, with all forces ordered to return to their home bases.
Publicly, NATO press officers called the sudden cancellation a minor, unrelated technical issue with command systems.
Internally, commanders described the event in their reports as clear, undeniable, and hostile Perun interference.
From that day on, the world entered what military analysts now call the Shadow Deterrence Era.
A silent, high-stakes arms race where the goal is no longer just firepower, but electromagnetic control. In December, unconfirmed reports suggested that China may have launched its own version, codenamed Dragon Pulse.
The Pentagon denies official confirmation of these reports, but admits that global environmental monitoring is ongoing.
The question now isn't who has the most bombs, it's who controls the invisible battlefield above us. Still, some experts believe the Perun weapon may have one single, potentially fatal and catastrophic design flaw.
Its energy demands are colossal, requiring sustained plasma stability that no known reactor can maintain for long. If the system overheats or misfires, it could trigger a localized magnetic collapse, catastrophic for the operators.
In other words, the Perun system is powerful, but it is also dangerously, perhaps fundamentally, unstable.
One defector from a Russian research institute, who must speak under strict anonymity, issued a warning.
They all believe that they can control the Perun system. They are dangerously wrong.
But once that system fully awakens, even the creators do not know how to stop it.
Russia has already sealed all Arctic communication corridors. Satellite coverage has been restricted by defensive jamming.
And NATO's most advanced monitoring drones are being jammed or blinded on a daily basis by the system.
But one thing is now absolutely certain. The Perun system has changed the face of warfare forever.
Future battles will no longer be fought with bullets and missiles, but with magnetism, plasma, and storms.
So the next time you see the northern lights shimmer across the sky, remember this story. They might not be a natural wonder at all, but the echo of a new weapon.
A silent guardian for one nation, and a ghost of the modern age for all others.
Because in this new era of modern warfare, the line between science and sorcery has effectively vanished.
The world is now balanced on a precipice, and the storm, they warned, has just begun.